Hello, good evening, good morning, or good afternoon, wherever you happen to be, guys. We are live for game number one now between Moscow 5 and Team Acer Poland. Has the makings of a real cracker here. And interestingly enough, Zillion is going to get picked up from Alex, who said just before. Really interesting character overall, Pulse. But how do you feel about these two compositions overall?
I'm just looking at them, and it makes a lot of sense because someone in chat was saying that you can revive Jax, but that really focused on Jax doing well. So I don't know if Shyvana's going to be camping top, but Shyvana's more of a counter jungler in the sense that she needs her lane to hold their own so she can go counter jungling, and that basically sacrifices the ganking power. I suppose Zillion is quite a competent lane because he's got ridiculous harass and he's got ridiculous push as well if they go near the minions. That's kind of a bit of a counterplay to Zillion because it's like, okay, I've got the bomb on me, I'll walk towards my minions, so you're forced to push, and then now I'll gank, and you'll die. That's one of the issues with Zillion. But they do have pretty competent lanes, so Shyvana is free to counter jungle. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I read a chat as well, some people giving us a bit of stick for saying that you can revive Graves. I mean, the fact is that Zillion's ultimate will revive anybody he chooses to revive. If that's going to be Jax in certain circumstances, cool. If it's going to be Shyvana, cool. If it's going to be Graves, cool. That's what Zillion brings to the table. Also, as you say, his bombs are incredibly strong. And I think a lot of people underestimate Zillion's damage, actually. Plus, he can speed up one of your allies or slow down significantly an enemy. So for chasing players, he's really strong in that respect as well. But I am so interested to see how it's going to work out against Kelva in mid lane. Orianna against Zillion is not something I've seen a great deal of.
Yeah, but the problem with Zillion, he has severe issues when scaling into late game, because he only has his ultimate, and his damage scales off to the point where it's only barely going to scratch them if he doesn't do well in lane. So, it's a risky pick in my opinion. They're looking for mid and early game, but if they pull it out to a late game, then it's not looking good for them, which kind of in itself makes a lot of sense, because Moscow 5 are a very aggressive team. They go for that sort of early game. So, oh wow, interesting. Darren Proc's starting up on those Wraiths, and Alex is going to help him and then going to go to blue. That's a Maokai route, and it's more efficient, so she can immediately go to Wolves as well. That's clever, very clever.
Yeah, and I love to see Darren Prox on Shyvana. This guy, I can guarantee you right here, right now, unless something extraordinary happens, is going to counter jungle so much. He is going to be in Nocturne's jungle almost more than Nocturne is himself. So it's definitely one to watch out for. He is renowned for his Shyvana play, his Diamond. So here we go into mid. Alex is obviously going to take the first point, I should say, in time bomb. And on the flip side, Orianna has just gained to level 2, has one in attack and one in protect. So fairly standard stuff there. Both junglers just kind of roaming around their own area. Diamond Prox, as you can see, did say this before, that because of his rooting, he is going to be leveling up a tiny bit quicker. He was level 3 before Nocturne was. So both junglers having a fairly quick start. Nocturne going towards top lane is in the tri-bush, no ward down. So Darian does not know what's en route to him. Here comes Lol Pro and 760 as well. Lots of damage being put down. Is it going to be enough? Counter-Strike has been popped off. Ignite as well. Unspeakable Horror has procced, but instantly flashing out of danger. And now here comes Diamond Prox. The exhaust has gone down onto Lol Pro, but Diamond Prox is taking too much damage from this exchange and has to actually go back himself. In the meantime, at bot lane, we're going to have Graves getting dropped. The first blood coming in from Urgot. Urgot instantly gets down from Taric. So 1-for-1 exchange at bot lane, but of course a kill going onto an AD carry versus a kill on a support, definitely coming out favourable for Team Acer. Are you there, Pulse, or have you muted your mic?
Whoops. Haha. That's Darian trading off for 760. I'm not sure he can win that trade. Darren Proc's also there.
Oh, he's ignited, and that's going to be a kill onto 760, courtesy of Shyvana. Darian on very low health. But I have seen Darian a number of times at top lane with Jax, and he is a monster. He is so strong. He is going to farm his way to success all day long, and having a jungler like Diamond Prox coming up thick and fast, picking up kills, can only be a good thing. Going to have some more red action at the bot lane, and also some action in mid too. So Alex is going to be maximizing his Q, which, as his only real damage output, is pretty obvious. In the meantime, you're going to have 2 points put in dissonance from Orianna, and just the 1 put in attack. So fairly interesting exchange there. Stun goes down from Gosu Pepper on towards Pucky style, but Genji's not going to bother to push on in afterwards. But yeah, lots of quick fire action at the beginning of this game. We're going to have Nocturne going into mid, forcing a flash from Alex Ich. Well played from him. Did use his time warp as well to get that speed movement I was talking before, that upgraded boost to manage to put himself in position to flash through the wall back towards his safety. It's going to negate that gank. But again, a successful gank in the sense that it did pop a summoner spell.
Yeah, so I'm looking at mid and thinking about the matchup. So Sullivan basically has to protect, which can mitigate a lot of the bomb damage. However, it's going to tear through his mana, so it's going to reduce his farming capability and reduce his harassability. And I'm not sure if that's kind of a counterplay, as in Orianna has a lot of laning presence basically. She's really, really strong in lane. And maybe Jillian's trying to just basically stop her from doing so. And he's got like mid-game scaling in the team fight, as we were talking about earlier. And Pink's going down in bottom river. I'm not sure about, yeah, I'm not sure about that one. But Shyvana going around the area as well. A lot of warding and aggressive ward going on very early in the game as well.
Yep, indeed. We're going to have Orianna picking up a double Doran's ring, going back towards mid. And Zillion looking to go for the Catalyst of Protector. Has a Ruby Crystal and a Sapphire Crystal on top of that. Top lane, 760 is going to be harassing Darien again. Darien did just go back to spawn, bought himself up a Ruby Crystal. He's going to be jumping in with a counter strike. Very aggressive play on 760, who doesn't have his intervention just yet. So this is a nice time to harass him down. In the meantime, Shyvana is coming up towards top. The ward is in Tribush. So at the moment, 760 has no idea what's on the way to him. He is going to be recalling in the bush. Unless he cancels this, he's going to get back to safety. Indeed he will. So Diamond Prox can wait there all he likes. There's no player top. He's not going to get rewarded for that patience.
Ganking the minions, it's fine. He's still there. He's waiting for Kel to show a face. I think he's just clicked. Yeah. That should have been fairly obvious, quite honestly, because the minions were pushed up so far. It made just a lot of sense for Kel just to simply recall, because he's not going to be able to farm. Dorian's going to be able to like rip into him because he's got so much damage, a lot of trading power as well. He probably won't win that trade. So, what's the logical conclusion? Recall. And Diamond Prox is still there.
I think he knew that Kale had gone back, and he was just being even more patient than before. Here he comes with the counter-strike. 760 is going to go down very, very comfortably. So it turns out that patience is indeed a virtue. Congratulations to Diamond Prox being probably the most passive player ever for that 30 or so seconds. I've got to be honest, Pulse, I would have gone back like 20 seconds previous. I guess that's one of the main reasons why I'm not a top player jungler.
Yeah, but that was ridiculous, and it was really clever, because 760's got to be scratching his head right now. It's like, how did Shyvana get there? We've got the jungle entrance is warded. Like, he didn't just appear in our own jungle. How did he get there? Because there's a ward there right now, so that must be really, really confusing for 760.
I think 760 would have felt pretty damn safe there.
Yeah.
Up until the point when Shyvana showed her head. You'd have probably been thinking, yeah, I'm pretty safe, but Shyvana's going to give Alex that blue, and to be honest, Zillion's mana pool is not the greatest, so getting that blue is going to be great for him. And alongside the Catalyst the Protector, when he does finally go back and pick that one up, how much gold does he have? I'm sure he's got more. Yeah, he's got 760, you need 450 to finish off Catalyst. So he has enough, but obviously he's going to wait a bit longer, especially with blue buff. He's going to be able to farm that lane very, very comfortably. In the meantime, Orianna is also going to pick up her blue, courtesy of Nocturne. And the farming fest at bottom continues. Not a great deal of action has gone down there. Just that early kind of confrontation where it went 1-for-1. Taric picking up the kill alongside Urgot. So Urgot has got a Doran's Blade. And also Grace has a Doran's Blade. 46 and 45 creep score. Extremely close to bot lane at the moment as it stands.
Yeah, so very interestingly about Kayle, it's like we've seen Kayle a lot today absolutely dominate her lane and just snowball to the point where she gets to that AD carry status very early on to the game. Well, this game, like 760 is kind of being shut down by Darien and Shyvana. They're just doing a great job. Look at the CS difference, 33 to 49. That's a significant difference, and considering she's ranged and a lot of her presence is in lane, being pretty much that ranged AD carry, obviously a bit shorter because it is Kayle, that's pretty significant. And it's the Darien and Diamond Prox are doing a great job of just stopping that from snowballing out of control.
Well, Urgot, interestingly enough, instead of going for Frozen Heart, as we saw last game, is actually going to go for the Brutalizer. So A slight difference in the build order for Pucky's style. Going to be a bit more aggressive than, rather than tankier. And alongside Janna, you can kind of understand why. The Eye of the Storm's going to come out. Also, the Monsoon alongside the Howling Gale is going to give him a lot of survivability if a gank comes in. But here comes LOL Pro on Nocturne towards bot lane. A stun comes in. Will they be trying to bait this one out? Coming round the side. We are going to have a switch from Urgot getting Gosu Pepper, but he's actually really tanky at this point. Trying to tower dive, but in turn, Genja missing his buckshot on absolutely everybody. Not that he would have actually got a kill out of that situation, but looks like we're having some more issues as another pause comes in. Trying to figure out what's going on here. Okay, Gosu Pepper apparently is disconnected, so maybe having some internet issues. Yeah, it's not the first time that I've casted Gosu when he's DC'd.
Yeah.
And I'm sure it won't be the last time either.
Definitely, and that was interesting. So, okay, build-wise, Brutalizer first, more aggressive, and you've got to just understand that, because it's Acer versus M5, the two most aggressive teams out there. Of course they're going to go for the most aggressive builds possible, and that's what you can see all over the board, basically. And, yeah, even you can see it slightly in Janna, because she's gone for the Heart of Gold instead of Philosopher's Stone first, which means she's looking to be up close and personal, get some of that, tanking some of that damage, and actually be in that team fight instead of sticking back. Like, even in the support you can see them being aggressive, and that's pretty scary. It's just everyone wants to be all over you. Not in that way.
Wow, okay.
Thanks,
You
Matt.
caught me off guard a tiny bit there. But yeah, obviously they wanted to be extremely aggressive. That's why you get Brutalizer first. It gives you the extra damage, the armor penetration on top of that. Just, it's all round goodness for Urgot. But a lot of players will take the Frozen Heart first, which is why I was kind of pondering that question to myself. I think that I'm actually a fair distance behind you at the moment. Oh no, never mind. My game just really lagged out badly there, but it seems to be okay now. Sorry about that.
I don't know how you could be behind me when the game's frozen.
It's like, for some reason, my game just keeps flickering. If that makes sense.
Right,
It might
okay.
be my graphics card is screwing up, but just really weird.
Oh.
So if I suddenly disappear, you know why now.
Right, gotcha. So,
Yeah, okay, Bass just reminded me that if you guys are interested in what you're watching and you want to find out more information about the Elite of Europe League of Legends tournament, you can go to championbase.com, where you'll find all of the schedule, all of the games that are coming up that have already been played. You'll also obviously have this stream, etc, etc. So go ahead and check that one out. You can also follow Champion Base on Facebook. It's facebook.com/championbase.net. And we have actually just got Gosu Pepper reconnecting, so it could look as though we're going to go back live very shortly here. But he's keeping us waiting, he's keeping us keen.
okay, they're
Okay,
asking
ready
for
to coming out. Okay, nice one. So, go is the word. Here we go. Unpause in 3 seconds. And as soon as you go live, I'm going to ask you what time you're on here, Pulse. What is the time for you?
10 minutes 18. 1920.
Right, I'm a second or two behind you, so can you just... Actually, never mind. I was going to say, can you take it away, but I've actually just sorted that one out anyway. Look for a couple of seconds that Shyvana was going to come down for a gank. Doesn't appear to be the case. In the meantime, though, Rolpo is actually going to try his luck. We're going to have Paranoid popped in onto Gosu Pepper. Lots of damage being put down. Howling Gale as well. On second time of asking, they could be picking this kill up. Gosu Pepper is going to go down very quickly. Genja, in the meantime, is getting pushed against the wall from Janna. Lots of damage. I don't think that Genja will be getting dropped on this occasion. Shyvana comes round from the tower doing incredible amounts of her own damage. And he will actually take the kill down onto Urgot. So somehow Graves manages to survive. And Alex is coming down to bot lane, so this could definitely be a tower dive on towards Super A's. It's going to be the kill. It's going to be the 2-5 score line. And really nice play from Moscow 5, just all over the map at the same time.
Yeah, Urgot just tried to flash in there to try and pick up the kill onto Genja. He knew he was dead. He was trying to just make the best of it and go for a one for one. Unfortunately, that did not happen, and it just went into the favour of Moscow 5. Dorian looking for a gank on mid, it looks like, but I think Saliva's knows because of that ward. 760 is what we just notified him of that. But yeah, 3-0 right now on Diamond Procs, looking scary, and that basically gives him counter jungling potential because it means if he meets Nocturne in the jungle, then he's going to completely destroy him. Shyvana is naturally stronger than most junglers anyway early game, but the fact that she's got a couple kills, she's level 9, it means she's still stronger.
Yeah, she's already got Heart of Gold and a Riddled Lantern, and as I said before, being very aggressive in the opposition jungle, putting down those wards, trying to be as much of a nuisance as possible. And now using Burnout to get quickly down to bot lane. Gonna have Super Rays taking a fair pounding from Taric and also Genja. But now pulling themselves back. Could they be going for a dragon? We do see a ping down. Also Alex is en route. And they have started this one off. So it's now just a case of whether Team Acer.pl can sniff this one out. Dragon's going down extremely quickly though. Oh, I thought for a second that Howling Gale may steal the dragon, but no. Shyvana picks that one up comfortably. And that's going to be a 2.7k gold advantage in the hands right now of Moscow 5 after 12 minutes, nearly 13 minutes.
Yeah, very soon you'll start seeing... Well, no, okay. Very soon you're going to start seeing Moscow 5 start capitalizing on very, very small advantages. Just there, they got a kill and someone's coming back from base. Boom, there's Drake, right up. They utilize their time very effectively. That's just how they work, and so does Acer. But Moscow 5 honestly just do it a bit better, and that's how they're getting the advantage so far. Cellar though is possibly the best farmer I've ever seen on Orianna, because every single game I've cast, he's always been on the timer or above it. Right now, he's 135 CS at 13 minutes. 30. It's ridiculous.
That's really impressive. Here comes Nocturne though, using the paranoia onto Darian, trying his best to escape, using the leap strike onto one of his minions, but it's not going to be enough. And there you go again, LOL Pro 760 combination. Extremely strong at top lane. And we'll be taking Darian back to spawn. How much gold does he have? He got 1,700 gold, so it's going to be interesting to see what he ends up buying here. He still hasn't elected to get anything. In the meantime, Shyvana is going to be coming up towards top lane. 760 has no mana. Diamond Procs is going to be putting a lot of damage down, and the Dragon's Descent as well. This could be a kill. 760 still has no mana, trying to flash away, buying some time for the intervention, but unfortunately he needs about 100 mana, and he was way off the mark. So unfortunate for Kayle. There's Diamond Procs again, picking up his 4th kill of the game.
He kind of flashed in a weird direction. He just flashed into him. It was like he had the right idea where he was waiting for Shyvana to get to the top of the tower and then juke underneath it. But he did that too early to the point where Shyvana just turned around and hit him in the face. Meanwhile, bottom.
Yeah, bottom will have some more action kicking off here. Oh, so much. Oh my god, I thought for a second there that Urgot was also going to go down. Yes, he will. Taric flashes in. That's the second time we've seen that. Taric finishing off Urgot after Graves was already dead. So Taric 221, a kind of AD carry score, and Graves 024, and it's got the early Zeal. So no BF sword, no pickaxe, and early Zeal opted for from Genja.
That's interesting. It's going to give him a lot of mobility in lane, which I think he kind of needs at the moment to try and escape some of those ganks from Nocturne, because it's definitely level 6 right now. But generally you see the AD being picked up first by Graves because it gives him more burst, basically. It gives him the extra burst in his Bookshot and ultimate. So it's very interesting to see him take a Zeal first, which is more of a standard build on some other carries, perhaps if you have the gold for it on maybe Ashe or something. But that's interesting. I suppose it's simply for the mobility aspect.
Yeah, definitely. It's gonna do well, at least for his minion farm. You know, with Zeal, it's much easier to get the rapid fire off, to get those points, especially with quick draw as well. Put together, it's really quick attack speed. So maybe trying to just push the CS in his favour at bot lane. Currently 89 to 82, so Genja is ahead at the moment over Pucky Style. But Pucky Style's not having the greatest of games. 1 for 4 actually. Just noticed that he has 4 deaths already in this game. And could become number 5 very shortly, as here comes Diamond Procs. Pucky Style has been exhausted. Well, looks like they're going to go for the full tower dive here. Dragon's Descent was used. Pucky Style will be going down. Can he pick up the second? Genja is on hot pursuit here, but here comes a Paranoia from LOL Pro straight onto Genja. In the meantime, Orianna's coming from the backside, uses a shockwave, catches both Diamond Proc and goes to Pepper. Collateral damage comes in because Alex Ich is hot in pursuit and he has his ultimate up. So this is a really sticky situation for Kellever and the rest of his team. Doing enough though to push back Gosu Pepper for a couple seconds, but Alex Ich is now going to go in with his Qs. Lands one, comes in with the second, and puts his ultimate onto Shyvana, but Shyvana actually didn't die, so maybe some opportunities to pick up the kill, but there goes Oriana. And Shyvana's going to pick up the kill, but gets shut down in the process. Super Ace is now eating another Q. Monsoon is used to push away both the assailants, but is it going to be enough to make him survive for a couple more seconds? Yes, it will, but there's the Q to finish things off from Alex Ich. And that's going to be the 5-10 scoreline. So it was kind of a... I wouldn't go as far to say that Moscow 5 made a meal out of that situation, but it could have been a lot easier.
It was a very stringy fight. It was like they split them up, they did the right thing, and then it was not so much that they didn't do it bad, they weren't playing it badly, it was just Acer played it well because they were kiting continuously, but eventually they just closed in on them. I suppose it made them waste a lot of time. Perhaps Acer were going to respawn and then come back to the raid, but they couldn't buy just enough time. At the very least, it irritated them and they made them waste some time. And that's kind of what you need to do against teams like M5 and Acer, because if you stop them from utilizing that time from when you've actually gotten those kills, then you've just stopped a massive snowball from happening. Because this thing with this, what we've talked about several times now, is that M5, they get a kill, they capitalize on it, they take like blue buff, they take Drake, and then they take a turret, and they just do these things in cannon, and there's nothing that they can do about it because they're just coming back from spawn and they literally can't reach them in time. And that's why they like to ban out those global ultimates, because it kind of disrupts that gameplay. And right there, they disrupted the disruption that was going to disrupt them.
Well, one of the things that always stands out glaringly to me about Moscow 5 is just their tenacity, and they're like a well-oiled machine. They move around in unison. They always have the timings on dragons, on barons, on the buffs. Diamond Prox is just incredible as a jungler. There's nothing else you can really say about him. Every superlative has been thrown at them and then some. So it's incredible to actually watch Moscow 5 when they're on form, because very few teams can stand toe-to-toe. And I don't know of any team better at closing off a kind of really, really strong lead than Moscow 5. They always go for the jugular, with the exception of that CLG match that I mentioned earlier. It's only time. Having said that, though, here we go. Diamond Prox is going to go on first with the Dragon's Descent. Maybe not the greatest of engages, but there's Zillion's ultimate to bring him back to life once more. Darien goes on towards Nocturne, gets his double kill straight back onto Jax though. So 2-for-1 exchange thus far. 760 is going to be going down after using his intervention on himself. So that's going to be a 3-for-1 exchange, and both Super Ace and Oriana are forced to run away here. Super Ray should be going down from Graves any second now, and in the meantime, Kellever is eating a couple of time bombs from Zillion. Is it going to be enough damage though to finish her off? Tarek is right behind her as well. Uses the movement speed, goes through Pepper. If he can land this stun, it's going to be all she wrote, but Genja's coming from the side. The Q has landed. Kellever is very, very dead here. Graves does finish it off, so the AD carry will get the kill accredited to his name, but either way, the time bomb would have finished off Oriana afterwards. And like I was saying before, people were saying, oh, you know, Zillion's going to use his ultimate every time on Jax. It doesn't matter. He was going to use it on the player that the situation favors. In this case, Diamond Prox is on 7-1-3. He's so far ahead. He's doing so much damage. Of course you're going to put it on him, especially when he jumps in and engages with a Dragon's Descent.
Genja might actually be caught here, but nope, Lolco's going to have to back off because there's the rest of the team right there. So, yeah, you were saying that you don't see any team do it better, and honestly I think Acer are definitely up there, and they're playing against them. So, actually a team fight's going to erupt any second now.
Yeah, Darien has been caught with the Q from Kale, and here comes Unspeakable Horror, but they are getting flanked. A pincer movement from the left and the upper regions. And they're managing to stave off this. Jax will pick up the kill onto Nocturne. Now going to be turning and running after Janet. Janet with a nice one soon, pushing back 2 or 3 players, trying to basically save Pucky style alongside 760. And in that sense it did work. But again, another pick for Moscow 5, this time onto Nocturne. And it looked like Team Acer were in the driver's seat for a couple seconds there, until you saw the pincer movement come into effect. Moscow 5 just choked them, made it a very claustrophobic fight, and picked up the kill.
Yeah, and Acer are trying to capitalize in the same way that Moscow 5 do, but the problem is they're playing against the team who did it first. Moscow 5 know exactly how to react against their own gameplay, so they know how to counter it because they are pretty much the masters of it. They have actually picked up the Drake. That was a great timing push because they knew that Moscow 5 had gone back, and this time they couldn't capitalize on that sort of mistake because their timing was ever so slightly off, maybe by 2-3 seconds, and that's what M5 capitalized on, and that's what you were talking about. They're like a well-oiled machine. A ping goes down, a call gets made, it's instant. It's like literally a fraction of a second before the entire team reacts. They just move at the same time. It's ridiculous. It's almost like it's one person, one mind.
Exactly, it's like a collective of players. It's incredible to see them move around the map and that kind of thing, because it's so fluid. At no stage, Moscow 5, unless they're playing pretty poorly, at no stage are they caught way out of position. None of their players, even if Diamond Prox is really aggressive in the opposition's jungle pretty much every single game, the amount of times he actually gets caught is minuscule. It's so small, and that's the reason he's so successful at what he does. So let's have a look at some of those items being built up. Aegis of the Legion has been completed also on Diamond Prox. They've actually got 2 Aegis of the Legions, one on Tarek, one on Diamond Prox. Phantom Dancer was the first completed item on Genja. He's not going to go the BF sword into Infinity Edge route or the BF sword into Bloodthirster route. He's just going to go straight for that attack speed and crit chance. On the other team, you've got a Rabadon's Deathcap and a Chalice of Harmony on Orion, and you've also got on Urgot. I mean, it's looking pretty grim for Urgot right now, to be fair. 163, he's just got a Brutalizer and a Glacial Shroud. So it's not looking too good for Pucky Star as it stands.
Yeah, and they're trying to push mid right now, but I'm not sure if they can, because Genja and Gosu Pepper from the side.
Oh, here comes Diamond Prox alongside Darian, both jumping in. They've got great initiation. Nice shockwave though from Oriana, doing enough to pull back all those players into the center pit, but they're still going to lose to, regardless, Nocturne and Urgot. And only Zillion really in danger territory on health. Darian's now taking a lot of damage from that tower. And nice use of the Time Warp onto Tarek. Monsoon used from Janna. Beautiful play from Super A, saving 760. And now Gosu Pepper is in such a precarious position. He'll be going down from the tower and 760, just as I'm saying that Moscow 5 very rarely get caught out of position. Tarek goes hell for leather behind towers and gets punished for his over-hubris, his over-extension. But this may be a Baron to Moscow 5 regardless. Going to use the Zillion ultimate on top of Jax, which is smart play obviously. Let Darian take all the damage, then come back up strong again. I'm not too sure if they can finish off this Baron though, because even though Darian did take the ultimate from Zillion, he's going to go down regardless for Baron. Or is he's used the counter-strike and manages to dodge that last attack. That was so incredibly close. Now Keller's going to be going on towards Alex Ich. He's going to get the kill onto Alex, goes down himself, and then Diamond Prox is his ultimate just to escape. He's being quickly chased down from the Acid Hunters of Pucky Style, but does manage to get away. And I said before, I'm not sure if they can take down this Baron. And with Kellever in particular harassing them, very nearly cost them a lot of deaths.
Yeah, I was just saying that because they're playing against their own sort of style, they know how to counter it, but they're underestimating Acer and how good they are at doing what they do. And right now, Pucky Star actually going to go onto Gendra at bottom, who was split pushing. And I think surely he's going to fall.
Pucky Style is really tanky still. And yeah, he's getting encircled from LOL Pro as well. He's going to go down, no question about it whatsoever. Genja gets dropped from Pucky Style. And that was all due to him trying to split push at bot tower and trying to harass, but unfortunately wrong place at the wrong time. So curse to the commentator once again. But still, Moscow 5 are ahead by 7.2k gold by 3-1 towers. And that's just after 25 minutes. Team Acer Poland are an incredibly strong team. They can come back from this. And I say that just as Super Ace gets caught out of position, forcing intervention to be used from Kale. So Kale's ultimate is down. Deathfire Grasp from Alex Ich on towards Kellever. But more harassment than anything else. Gosu Pepper's taking a couple shots there from Kale. And then eats a Howling Gale on top of that. So it's going to go back to that kind of slow farming phase for the next couple minutes here, Pulse. But if Team Acer Poland are going to bring this game back, how are they going to do it in your opinion? Is it going to be on a Baron steal, on a Baron team fight?
Well, what puts Acer above most teams is the fact that they're so clean in what they do. Everything's very well oiled, exactly like M5. And that's what makes them win. However, they're against a team which know exactly how to counterplay, and that's their issue right now. Because they're always like 2-3 seconds behind them, because M5 know what they're going to do. It's almost like they're reading their mind, and that's a real issue. So they have to play like they're not Acer. Like, it sounds very odd, but that's what they have to do. They can't go with the generic playstyle because M5 know what they're going to do. So they have to kind of mix it up a bit and do something janky, and that's what will try and get them the game. They need to make plays that they don't think they're going to do.
Oh, well, PuckyStar's trying to make some plays now, switching the play of Alex Itch. And he's going to pop his ultimate straight away underneath that tower, waiting for him to respawn. Here comes Genja on towards PuckyStar, who's forcing the intervention once again. So he's going to try his best to get back into contention. He's going to be going down surely from Genja. In the meantime, Nocturne's going to pop his ultimate on towards Alex. He does just have enough damage, but it goes down instantly afterwards, courtesy of, I believe that was Zillion. Yeah, Alex killed him from 6 for under. And that will be a 4-for-1 exchange. Just Caliber remains. And you were saying before, Pulse, about trying to force the plays, trying to make something happen. PuckyStar, while you were talking, saying that, flashed in and actually failed the flash. He was just out of range. Then he kind of on take 2, tried once again underneath the tower. And that kind of engage ultimately cost his team 4 kills. 4 deaths, I should say. And by the looks of things, a Baron on top of that.
Yeah, I think this game is near over because of it. That was the thing. He knew that he had to do something weird, because generally you don't see teams like this go straight ahead and just bullfight and just charge towards them and try and take them out on the turret. That's not how they do it. There's more finesse. They wait for a kill and then they just glide around the map taking objectives very cleanly. But they realized they had to do something weird, and then he did something weird, but it didn't pay off because basically M5 are too far ahead at this point. So I can't see anything that they can do. It's just always M5 will be one step ahead of them.
Yeah, I mean, I don't want to point the finger of blame and say to PuckyStar, look, that couple seconds of, I don't know, 28 minutes was what caused your team the loss, because it's been gradually getting worse and worse, but there's no doubt that engage underneath the tower was simply not very good, especially when against the Zillion. He's just going to basically resurrect whoever you end up killing, and they're going to be resurrecting under that tower for a good couple seconds. In the meantime, the tower's going to be taking aggro on your players, doing a lot of damage, dishing a lot of damage out, and ultimately that's what cost them the 4 deaths and the Baron. And now Moscow 5, from this kind of position, they just don't lose. They really don't lose. They're almost 10k ahead. They are now 10k ahead after taking the Dragon down after 28, nearly 29 minutes, 22 to 10 ahead, and also ahead on towers. And they have the kind of characters, they have the kind of champions here that simply scale very, very comfortably. Graves, Infinity Edge, Phantom Dancer, stupidly strong. You've got Shyvana with an Aegis of the Legion and a Phage, and I would assume she's got a lot of gold. Yeah, she does. 2,000 gold on top of that. And you've also got a Jax with Guardian's Angel and also a Trinity Force. There's just so much burst potential that's coming down on your team.
Yeah, and M5 literally can't die because they're starting to get the Guardian Angel down. They have the ultimate from Alex Itch. Is one of you die, and then you get revived. It's like you literally can't lose, because if they pick one person off, which is extremely hard at this point, then they're going to be revived, and that's what you saw last team fight. It's, yeah, they have a very snowbally team in that respect, because they get ahead, and then they literally have 6 lives, almost 7 lives. It's just, they outnumber them, basically, and it's just very difficult. I'm not really sure why Acer are carrying on, because yeah, it's not to say that they're completely out, but it's almost impossible, because M5, almost 99% will not make a mistake. Unless, I don't know, it's, yeah, there's no real unless in this point.
I really think that if Team Ace of Poland are going to pull this one back, they need the ultimate of a Sentry from Orion. They need that Shockwave to be perfect. He has managed to land 3 players. Look at the damage it actually does there. Genja, Alex Itch, and also Diamond Prox, who's very tanky, go down very quickly. But you do not want to be chasing this lineup, especially with the Guardian's Angel and Zillion's ultimate. It's not wise to chase that one down, which is why the Poles are going to stay by their tower and not give chase. But it's really going to come down to whether Oriana can land that perfect ultimate that sets up a team fight. They're going to be able to pretty much ace. If that's not the case, if Oriana doesn't land her ultimate, there's basically nothing they can follow up on. Sure, PuckyStar can switch a player, but he's under-farmed right now, he's under-leveled, and they're just going to be tower diving regardless. They do not care. Tower's going to go down here. Genja picks that one up. Now going to be chasing on towards PuckyStar. Darry now turns round, opting for the inhibitor instead, which of course is completely understandable. Jumping back in once again. And PuckyStar is going to be able to just, I stress the just, escape with his life. Damage has been done though for Moscow 5. That's a tower and an inhib. And now they're just going to go ahead and rinse and repeat and take Team Ace's jungle. And this is exactly what Moscow 5 do. When they have Baron, when they're ahead on towers, they completely starve the opposition of any farm and any gold. Gosu Pepper could actually get caught here. I'm pretty sure he could go down in this kind of situation. He's very tanky, but actually, he's tanky enough just to not care about Nocturne. And in the meantime, Caliber's going to go down from Genja, who comes around the side. Jack's going to be jumping back in once again. You know something's wrong when Tarek is able to just tank 2 of your players' damage without any problems. And he's on full HP throughout. Pucky style goes down from the pure burst potential. That is grave. Super A's manages to monsoon away at the same time as eating that intervention, but Genja's going to be chasing on. Also, the Q is down. Is it going to be enough damage underneath the fountain? No, it's not. Now Gosu Pepper's being focused again alongside Genja. Genja will take down Kale, and I'm pretty sure that's game, set, and match. Alright, here, 3 players down for the next 20 seconds. Yeah, it's going to be Nexus down.
Yeah, and at the seed, I honestly think Tarek could start dueling people. That was ridiculous. He was tanking their bruiser, and he was tanking with their support as well. And GG. That was ridiculous.
And he wasn't even taking any scratches. It's like Nocturne is just belting him across the back of the chops, and he's like, okay, I don't care. You're never going to kill me. So, and then Graves just pops around the corner and takes everyone out. So, yeah, Moscow 5 really, really strong, looking in prime position to take game number 2. Team Ace of Poland are really going to have to get their work kind of cut out for them. They're going to have to come together much stronger in game 2, otherwise they're going to lose out as well.
Yeah, for sure.
So guys, while we're waiting for the invites for game 2, we're going to cut to a very quick commercial break. It's going to be between obviously Team Ace of Poland and also Moscow 5. This is game 3 of a potential 4. I've just got the invite actually there from Kits. So hopefully that's not going to bug. Oh, the game you're trying to join no longer exists. That's useful. Thanks, dude.
Nice.
So anyway, we're going to cut to a quick commercial break, guys. And when we get invited and we know what's going on, we will be re-going live once again. So stay tuned. We'll be right back. I can't even talk anymore. We'll be right back after this.